Real quick, before you get into the video, the 14 things recruiters never tell you, 7 in part 1, 7 in part 2. I want to let you know that these were taken from an article Carl Medford wrote for Inman, and I just put it on video. I never credited him for it. It was a big oversight on my part, a lack of integrity for me. Carl pointed it out to me recently, and I just wanted to make that correction and also let you know that Carl is a man of high integrity. He was gracious about it. He let me know. He gave me a chance to correct it, and I'm doing that. So if you're looking for a realtor in the Bay Area, Carl is a great choice. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. But in the meantime, here are the 14 things recruiters never tell you before you join a team or before you join their brokerage, a la Carl Medford. See you on the other side. 14 truths the recruiting broker never told you. Ready? Number 1, you're a statistic. Especially if you're a new agent, right? Any new business has very little chance of surviving. All new businesses, right? 90% of all new businesses fail. You're a statistic. They're looking to get enough spaghetti to throw at the wall and see what sticks. It's just the way recruiters do. It's just the way brokerages are run. They're going to get as many new agents as they can, and they all promise the same thing. What do they promise? They promise better tech, great culture, training, and whatever else, great teamwork, whatever they're going to pretend, they all say the same thing. It's all the same. But you get there, and once you're recruited, hi, have fun. But they have a quota of new agents to bring in. They just do. They have a quota of agents that they must bring in every month. You're one of those people. They didn't tell you that. And they're hoping that you're the diamond in the rough that's actually going to turn into a capping agent. Most recruiting brokers don't tell you that, but that's really how the industry is designed, okay? 2 is it's hard work. Recruiters never talk to you about it. This is going to be hard. And real estate is hard. It's hard work. You're a startup, especially as a new agent. You're a startup. No one's giving you business. You got to put all the money in up front, all the time, everything up front. You're going to be, criered in the beginning. And the beginning is like the first 3 years. They don't tell you it's hard, and they don't tell you how long it's hard for. No one's talking about that. And I want you to know, if you're thinking about becoming a realtor, it's hard. The first 3 years is a challenge. It's all a challenge. It never gets easy, but it's certainly, you build up a muscle and you build up steam, but in the beginning, it's going to be hard, okay? 3rd is no clients are going to think you're the savior. The information about real estate has been democratized to an enormous extent, okay? There's very little asymmetry of information anymore, meaning consumers know almost as much as you do about a property, about what's available in the market, financing. They can find resources. I've done a ton of videos. Everyone's done a ton of videos. You don't have answers they don't have. They're not going to look at you like the savior. They're just not, and you got to be prepared to have some other value that you are going to add above and beyond what they could get from the interwebs. And brokers don't tell you that, okay? 4th is, once you're signed on, you're on your own, right? If they don't have a mentor program, for sure you're on your own, and a mentor program you're going to pay for. If you don't join a team that's got a vested interest in your success, the brokerage puts you in. Maybe they have some startup training. Some great brokerages have startup training. I was with KW, they have startup training. EXP has startup training. Great, you could take advantage of all that training, and you should take advantage of all that training. All that training is fantastic. And usually it's free, although sometimes they charge you for it, which is sort of mind-blowing. And you should check with your recruiter what they charge for and what's free. But just because you're in training doesn't mean they got your back. Just because they provide training, that was one of the other things that every brokerage promises, is great training. It's true. A lot of them do have great training, but it's all self-serve. It's take what you want. And it doesn't mean you're going to win. It means you're less likely to not know what you're doing if you're very productive on your own. But still, nonetheless, you are on your own, okay? That's 4. 5 is all the startup costs. Have they gone through with you the startup costs? If you're a new agent, it's going to cost you about $2,000 in Seattle, in Washington, somewhere in there. And that's the hard cost. That's your testing, that's your classes, that's your fingerprints and blah, 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 okay? MLS dues, National Association of Realtor dues, somewhere in the neighborhood of $2,000. And the other thing they're not telling you is you're a startup. The startup costs. You got 3 months of savings? You got 3 months of living expenses saved up? Because how are you getting paid? You know you're not getting paid for 90 days. I don't care how good you are. I don't care if when you walk into the office, your mother said she would help you out by you could sell her house. Great. That's 45 to 60 days at the earliest between getting it ready to be on market, negotiating, closing, blah, blah, blah. It's 60 days. So for one sale, you need 3 to 6 months of savings if you're not going to get commission breath and crazy. And recruiters, not always talking to you about that. All right. 6 is most realtors don't turn out to be baller agents. You know, the median income for realtors across the country is 50K. All right. Not great money. And that's not great money. They do 3, 4, 5, 6 deals, maybe. Recruiters aren't telling you that most of them don't make it. Most of them, and those that do make it, don't make a lot of money. And that is a fact. Those are statistics. Those are real. You got to do something extraordinary to put yourself in a position that's extraordinary. I like the team option for that, but I've certainly known enough people that do it solo. But you got to know going in, you're going against the odds. 7 is you're not selling houses. The business of real estate is not selling houses. The business of real estate is building a business. You are an entrepreneur. You're a startup. You're building a business. You've got to look at it that way. If you think you're selling houses, you're going to be massively upset. And on our, I have seen enough people burn out and flame out of our team and every brokerage when they get there and they think, yeah, I'm going to be selling houses. Hell no, you won't. You're going to be selling yourself. You got to find the people that trust you. You got to be working at that and you got to be prepared for that. Those are 7 of the 14 things brokers don't tell you. That's part 1. You want to know what part 2 is? Stick around, right? Find it here or come back next week, depending on when you're watching it. But part 2 for the second 7. Aaron Hinden at Christine & Company over at eXp Realty. See you soon.